Hi guys, and welcome back to English Harmony video blog. I'm Robbie from EnglishHarmony.com and I'm your fluency mentor. And today we're going to talk about the following thing. You should never judge other people if they don't know particular English words. Say for example you're talking to someone, whether a native speaker or a foreign English speaker, and you're using a specific English word and that person doesn't know it. You should never ever judge them for that, because there's around 1 million words in the English language. Well, some sources quote 2 million words, but I think it's a stretch. I think million would be probably the most realistic figure that we could put on the English vocabulary. So just think about it. There's 1 million words in the language, and the average adult English speaker, if he or she is a native English speaker and they're well educated, then they might know around 25,000-30,000 words, right? So just think about the chances of them not knowing some very obscure English word that you've just learned and you're using it, right? The chances are that that person probably doesn't know that word. And even if you think that the scenario whereby you as a foreigner say something and a native speaker doesn't understand it, that such a scenario is very little likely to happen, you are wrong, my friend. Here's what happened a couple of days ago at work. I was discussing something with my work colleague and I used the word inertia. And he asked me what it is. You see, he didn't know a word inertia. And he's a quite educated guy. He's overall a very eloquent person, and initially it came as a bit of a shock to me, but then next thing I thought, hold on, of course, no one can possibly know just any word in the English language. And then I went on and explained what that word meant, right? And there's nothing weird or strange or ludicrous about such a situation. It's all a matter of people not being able to know every single word in the English language, because as I said previously, the language is just huge. It's enormous over the centuries. It's acquired a lot of vocabulary from other languages such as Greek, Latin, French, German, you name it. And just think about all the various technical terms, you see, all this technical terminology, medical, science, and manufacturing and whatnot. There's so many of them in the English language that an ordinary person can't possibly know them all. Well, of course, if you're talking with some college professor who spent his entire life reading vast amounts of literature, covering a huge array of various topics, then the chances of him not knowing something that you say are minuscule indeed. But the average guy, the average Joe in the street, knows around 20, 25, 30,000 English words at best, right? And as a matter of interest, I tried to look up how many words there are in my own Latvian vocabulary, and I actually couldn't find a different answer to that. And I found some people saying online that surely there should be as many words in Latvian as there is in English, because there's dictionaries where like hundreds of thousands of English words are translated in Latvian and vice versa. So if we go by that logic, then there should be as many Latvian words as there is in the English language. But you see, it's not the case, my friends, for the simple fact that there are a whole lot of synonyms in the English language than there are in our native languages. Well, obviously, if you come from a very largely represented language background such as French or Spanish or German, it might be the case that there is as many, that there's an equal amount of your vocabulary as there is in English. But I strongly believe, and it's not just a matter of opinion, but it's pretty much a fact, I believe that in our languages, in smaller languages, you just don't have that many synonyms describing the same thing, the same principle or abstract concept or whatever it might be. For the simple reason that, as I said, English language has acquired its vocabulary from all over the world, from the main language groups, and it's very rich. And I'm not saying that the English language would be somehow superior because of that. It's just stating a fact. So, if next time around when you say something and a person, be it a foreigner or a native speaker, asks you, sorry, what it is, I don't know, you don't have to be judgmental and judge them for that. And don't assume that their English knowledge is somehow of a lesser quality than yours, just because they don't know a specific word. As I said, I had a conversation with a native speaker a few days ago, and the same thing happened. He asked me what the word inertia meant in the English language. And actually, now when I come to think of it, I remember a similar scenario that happened a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about something at work, and there was a song on the radio, and one of the guys asked, what's the name of this band? And I said, Evanescence. It's a very popular band from the early 2000s, right? Or mid-2000s, 2003, mid-2004, if I'm not mistaken. And then he said, what it actually means? It mustn't mean anything. And I said, no, I'm pretty sure it means something. And he says, no, surely it's just made-up word. And then I went online and did a quick search, and turns out Evanescence is an actual English word, right? But just because it's such an obscure word that's not used in real-life conversations at all, and I don't know when's the last time you actually heard someone using the word Evanescence. It's only the band, so when people hear that word mentioned only in relation to that particular band, then they assume that it's just a made-up word, and there's nothing weird or strange about it, right? So, it just goes to show, to illustrate that just because there's so many English words in the English language, it's totally normal for someone to not know something that you've learned, that you've read, and you don't have to be judgmental of other people, and you don't have to use, actually, such obscure vocabulary words. Typically, there would be the words of the day that so many dictionary websites are publishing on a daily basis, and on some occasions they're quite useful, but sometimes they are really so specific and so sophisticated, so obscure, that it doesn't make any sense to learn them, waste your time and energy and effort, and use them in your conversations or writing, because the chances are people just won't know what you're talking about. You are much better off learning popular phraseology, most commonly used collocations and expressions, and you'll be understood worldwide, my friends, right? Okay, let's not be judgmental of others and ourselves. Don't blame yourself for not knowing something. If someone tells you something and you don't understand, don't be ashamed of asking the simple question, I'm sorry, I just didn't get that. I don't know what that word means. Can you explain it to me, please? Simple as that, right? Okay, thanks for watching this video, my friends. And if you have any comments or questions, please publish them in the comments section below. Thanks, and bye-bye.